Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be sharing some terrifying HOA nightmare stories from Reddit. Our first story is from a user. My condo association has an architectural review board. When we bought our condo, there were two stipulations that we had to abide by. One was no satellite dishes and two, no clotheslines. The condo next to us had both. We asked the condo association about it, and they said that it was grandfathered in. So when we moved in, we got rid of their satellite dish and we took down their clothesline. They put up a huge stink about it, but the condo association told them that they had to abide by the rules like we did. Fast forward 2 years and the people next door are now gone. We decide to put in a satellite dish and put up a clothesline. The condo association tells us that we have to go through the architectural review board, which takes 4 to 6 weeks. We had a big trip planned, so we decided to hold off until we got back. 2 weeks before we left, we put in a request to the architectural review board. We get a letter back saying that we need to come to a meeting with them to discuss our request. Since we were leaving out of town, we weren't able to make it. So, we asked if they could do it over email. They refused and said that we needed to be there. So we had to reschedule our whole trip to meet with the architectural review board. After all this, they still made us wait the full 4 to 6 weeks. At the end of it, they approve it with one condition, that we paint the clothesline the same color as the house. It's black. We painted it black. Now every time I look at it, it just feels like a huge middle finger. Our next story is from another user. Our HOA allows 2 parking spaces per unit. If you want a third space, you can lease it for an extra fee. My neighbor has 3 cars, but only pays for 2 parking passes. For the last year, he parks his third car in a way that blocks my wife's car from being able to park in her assigned spot. He does this by parking it diagonally across 2 spots, so he can open the driver's side door and get into his garage. I've talked to him several times about moving his car so my wife can park in her spot. Every time he says he'll do it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow never comes. I finally had enough and sent him a certified letter telling him to move his car so my wife could park in her spot, or I would start charging him for the third parking pass. He didn't listen, so I started charging him. Now he's threatening to sue me because I'm supposedly violating his rights. How is this violating his rights? He's welcome to park in one of his 2 assigned spots. He's not assigned the spot next to his. That's where my wife parks. And the spot he's parked in diagonally is mine. He literally parks so far out from the garage that he could easily just reverse into his parking spot and have enough room to open his door. Our next story is from another user. My neighbors decided to remodel their kitchen. No big deal, right? Well, they removed their dishwasher and hooked up their sink directly to the garbage disposal. I wasn't too happy about it, but whatever. Then I noticed that whenever they ran their disposal, it sounded like it was grinding glass. I went over to talk to them about it, and they told me that they installed a garbage disposal that was much more powerful than the old one. A few months later, the sink started backing up. They called a plumber who found that the new disposal was grinding the old pipes, and he had to replace them. The new disposal was also creating a siphon effect that was draining the water from the trap during use. The plumber fixed this by capping the drain line and connecting it to the vent stack. Now whenever they run their disposal, it sounds like a jet engine. I should also mention that these are the types of people who don't understand the concept of low-flow shower heads. If you turn the water on full blast, it sounds like a waterfall. Their entire house is a nightmare. The walls are paper thin. They play music that sounds like fingernails on a chalkboard. Their kids bang on the walls like they're playing the drums. The list goes on. Anyways, I recorded their disposal so I could get a sample of the noise. I brought it to the HOA and asked what they were going to do about it. The HOA president listens to the recording and says, "Well, it doesn't sound that bad. What do you want us to do?" I told them that I wanted them to make them stop, but I guess they're cool with it. And our final story is from another user. I moved into my townhomes association a little over a year ago. All was fine until recently. I started getting notices of violation for overgrown grass and weeds. The deed covenants require the lawn to be mowed every 10 days and weeds have to be pulled or sprayed within 15 days of them appearing. This is ridiculous. I was only given 10 days to mow my grass. So I looked at my covenants. It says nothing about notifying the homeowner or giving them time to take care of the issue. It just says fines will be assessed. I waited until the 11th day and mowed my grass. But the next day, I got a notice that I had violated the law again. I emailed the association and asked why I was being fined when the violation hadn't occurred yet. They replied that I should have cut my grass the day before I actually did because they had already cited me. I told them that I didn't receive the citation until after I cut my grass. They replied that it was my responsibility to check the website daily to see if there were violations. I told them this was unreasonable and to remove the fine. They refused and said that I could take it up with the board at the next meeting. At the next meeting, I asked the board why I was being fined for cutting my grass late when I hadn't even received the notice until after I had done it. They told me that I should have known better than to wait until the last minute and that I was being penalized for not checking their website every day. I told them that it was their responsibility to notify me of the violation. They told me that they were the authority and that I was supposed to check their website daily. I told them that they should change the covenant if they wanted me to check their website daily because it clearly stated that they were responsible for giving me the violation notice. They said that they wouldn't change anything and that I would just have to deal with it. They also tried to say that I could appeal their decision in court. But I told them that I'd rather pay the fine.